Good morning or good day, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. And this is my new channel. I kicked off my old one. So I hope you follow, subscribe, and participate whenever you possibly can. Okay. This is actually a great opportunity for me to restart. For some of you who have subscribed already, maybe this is a good time for us to restart the Samkhya Karika. I made it up to Karika 20 or 21, I believe. And then I have to start a new channel. So anyway, here we go. So if you're unfamiliar with Samkhya philosophy, this philosophical system is one of the six orthodox schools that are based off of the Vedas, at least, somewhat loosely off of the Vedas. It was created by the sage Kapila, anywhere between, somewhere around 3,000 years ago, so something like that. Okay, so in the very first passage, the very first verse, if you will, it begins, on account of affliction from threefold misery, inquiry should be instituted into the means for its removal. If it be said that it is useless because of the existence of evident means, then we reply no, because of the absence of certainty and finality. Okay, so the most important part of this passage is, what are those threefold miseries, right? The threefold miseries are internal, external, and divine. Internal, external, and divine. So the miseries in Samkhya philosophy, the source of misery comes either from within us, right? Negative self-talk would be an example, of course. Externally, right, that it can be from other people or beasts, as it is sometimes described. And then the divine. Now, the divine is kind of interesting. It can be described oftentimes as like weather, right? Earthquakes and things of that nature, right? Of course, looking back a few thousand years, looking for explanations of things of like, intense monsoons, typhoons, hurricanes, earthquakes, and volcanoes and such. We're like, well, the gods must be doing it. So divine, right? These are miseries that are imposed upon us from natural disasters. The most immediate one that we can operate, that we can overcome are those that are internal, right? They're the ones that we have absolute control over. The external miseries, not so much, not so much. Of course, Kapila, he proposes that what's the very first step here, right? On account of affliction from threefold misery, inquiry should be instituted into the means for its removal. So, this deep self-study, right? Analyzing, the source of our miseries, why it is that we feel so miserable or depressed. So it all begins there, and this gives us insight into the start of the process. Of course, is meditation, right? Why, and that's. If you've ever been through it, right? If you've ever been in that deep state of misery, it can be very difficult for us to sit in meditation and try to quiet the mind. Well, it isn't necessary for us to quiet our mind when we're in a deep state of misery. As a matter of fact, we want to almost promote the flow of thought so that we might discover its source. Now, whether it's Kapila or Patanjali, we're looking for the cause of that misery. We're taking these puzzle pieces, right? All these random puzzle pieces, we're trying to put it together so we can see the big picture and potentially find out the reason why, not just what the source of the misery is, but also the way in which we might overcome that misery. Okay. So remember that the threefold miseries are internal, external, and divine. The only one that we have control over, that we can have, like, most immediate control over, is internal, right? Our, again, negative self talk is a wonderful example of that. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. There's no doubt about that. And if that is a pattern that that you might have, then that's something that you should make attempts in overcoming. How do we do that? What I mean by we're our own first worst enemy, we end up making life decisions that are, well, potentially irresponsible, sometimes even dangerous. Right? Some people make really catastrophic life decisions, and of course, the way that we do that is discovering the behaviors that we go through typically and attempt to change those behaviors, like even slightly. It's like that whole concept. What is it? 100 pounds of force can be changed by um, a single ounce, something like that. So it's just little behavioral changes that we're looking for. And if we find that we are our own cause of our own misery, then again, what we must do is look at, most immediately, if it is like negative self talk, change the language. Right? It's probably going to be the most immediate and effective way to go about that. It can be very difficult to do. There's no doubt about that. But you almost want to create a mantra, a song, if you will. And if you have any type of negative self talk, that you immediately change the language of it and repeat it over and over and over again. Why not? Right? Why not? Just do it. Okay. Well, these are some thoughts. I will. I hope that you will join me on this journey of the Samkhya Karika. There are 72 passages, so it'll take some time for us to get through. But hey, we've got nothing but time, right? I do wish everybody a wonderful day today. Please keep yourself safe. Help your fellow citizens out there. I think it's very important. Live a life that is full of gratitude. Well, thank you so much. Peace.